everybody. It's your girl, PJamma, with PJammaLyfe. And happy Pride Month. We just want to say good words and good thoughts to all of our LGBTQIA plus family, friends, nephews, nieces, aunties, uncles, grandfathers, grandmothers, leather daddies, and everybody else out there. We celebrate you and wish you love because love is love. Okay, so today we have got some really great episodes and a new continuation of a really great series. We have the all-new Miss Marvel has dropped. Oh, so excited to talk about that. Our first Pakistani American in the Marvel Universe. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was super exciting this week. We also are going to talk about the boys. And we're going to talk about Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. So we got a lot to get through. So let's say hey to our buddies here. One of them is having some technical difficulties, but is with us on the sound. So Patrick, say hey to the people.
Yeah, it's very dark here. You can't, I mean, it's like nighttime, and yeah, it's like I'm actually broadcasting from the middle of a black hole. But yes, even though sound and light can't escape, apparently our signal can. So you can get my audio, and I am here. So, hey, everybody.
He's here with us, and I'm sure, welcome back, Pat. And we are glad you're here, however way we can have you here. And our buddy, all things Star Wars, the guru himself, David, say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you tonight. Patrick, we're going to figure out a way to get the Cygnus in there or send old Bob or Vincent your way to get you out of the black hole, maybe before the end of the show. But we've got some fun stuff to talk about this evening, and I can't wait to dip our toes into, once again, the Marvel Universe. This is going to be a fun night.
Yeah, it's expanding big. And our fourth person, Tim Windsor, who's been with us from the beginning. Hey, Tim Windsor, good to see you. All right, let's start off with the newest of the superheroes. From Jersey City herself, Miss Marvel.
Well, I hear you've had a hectic couple weeks.
Very funny.
So you want to go to a party at night? Is this a joke?
Time to start really thinking about your future.
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or?
Who do you want to be in this world, huh? Do you want to be good, like we raised you to be? Or do you want to be some, this cosmic head in the clouds person?
All right. Patrick, why don't you start us off, because you're a guru of all things Marvel. Talk about Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel's she's a fairly a new character that came out in the past about 8-10 years, something like that. Really, the book is not bad. It's not one of the ones I follow regularly, but I'm aware of it and I've seen some issues of it. The series, I don't know. I'm hoping it gets better. I was not excited about it. I got to tell you, it had a very, my kids grew up in the 90s, and I remember them watching, the Disney Channel back then, and all the Disney Channel shows that were designed to hit, the 10 to 15 demographic, which this felt very much like it. It didn't feel very superhero-y. I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm hoping it gets better. I suspect it will, but right now it's just it felt very Disney Channel back in the days. Disney Channel didn't even feel like Disney Plus to me. So we'll see. The character itself is interesting. I'm not like I said, I'm not incredibly versed in the lore of this particular book. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how true to the origin story of the real Ms. Marvel. I understand what they're doing, and I hope that they get it a little bit more up tempo, more up to speed, because they are going to try to integrate.
Tempo.
Well, it's because it's not presenting as a superhero movie or a superhero show. It's presenting as a teen drama. It's Disney Channel fare of like I'm trying to think. I can't remember what all they were, because they were so forgettable and so interchangeable. All those shows that my kids used to watch, and I'm hoping that because the thing is they've got to get this up to speed in order to integrate it with the Marvels, which you're gonna have the Brie Larson, you're gonna have the Monica Rambeau, you have all these people, these bigger, more heroic things coming out, and she's supposed to integrate into that. It's gonna have to step it up to get to that level, because right now it's Disney fare right now. It's not Marvel. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay,
I'm hopeful, but I'm not enthused right now.
I'm gonna go next because I love it. I love it. I love it. I thought it was so adorbs. I thought it was super cute. I thought it was very light, and frankly, this week we need something light, cute. So, I thought she was the young lady who's playing her. I think it's Iman Vellani. I mean, it's a total miracle how she got the role. But she is adorable. I mean, she's a true fan. She's a true like comic book person who happened by fate or the grace of God to be able to do something like this. And the story kind of replicates real life, art imitating life. And I really feel like she is the perfect person to play this character and to represent the community. And I thought the story was fun. I thought it was very much, a teenage kind of story, which Marvel needs to bring young people in. Because all of, the characters are getting a lot older. So they're going to have to bring in young people. And this is a great way to do it. So I think it's a great kind of collab with, and it was kind of Disney fare, but it was much better than some of the Disney fare that I've watched.
Not by much.
Much better. But it's definitely fun, definitely for the kids and the whole family. And definitely I'm looking forward to seeing it. David, what do you think?
Well, Pam, I wanted to do that with a dramatic pause there. There was so much heart in this. I know. Really enjoyed it. There was a little bit of a with the family dynamics. It was it reminded me a little bit of Bend It Like Beckham, I think. There was some of that, I thought, with the different cultures. There's definitely like a meta aspect. It's life imitating art, imitating life. The magic talisman. I need to go back and watch, how she got her power again. When I watched it, I thought this was good. And like one thing that stood out to me is when you have a protagonist that is a teenager, someone who at 16 is the character portrayed. That is kind of like your lead, but let's all be real here. Teenagers can be horrible people.
Yeah.
People can be horrible people. Teenagers can be horrible people.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I thought one of the neatest and most powerful moments in this story was the parents so upset, don't want her to go to Avenger Con, which I think is hysterical, thinking about all the Comic Con and all that business. And then they try to find a compromise. Little spoiler alert. And the dad, he painted himself green. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with the dad right there. He is going, I was like, I don't understand. I don't get what you like, but I love you and I'm going to meet you halfway.
Right.
And not that I have a problem with it, but as Oscar might attribute, those conventions, costumes can be somewhat risque. I don't
Yeah.
one bit for worrying about their 16-year-old daughter going to a convention and around some things that could be, it's, I love the costumes. I endorse those costumes. I'm for those costumes. But 16-year-olds, parents, hey, I thought this was fun. I'm looking forward to it. I
Yeah.
think this is it's another piece to what we're seeing in this Marvel universe. They're giving us a lot of different looks, a lot of different genres, a little bit of teen angst here. So Oscar gives it a bark and a half or 2 barks. I'm going to give it that as well. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. And it kind of gave me also, what's it, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, like those guys who did like Kick-Ass and 21 Jump Street and those kind of movies. So it kind of had that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mitchell's versus the Machines, that kind of thing. So definitely on like current, very current for today's youth. So
and the actress really is winning. I mean, what you said.
She's a doll, baby.
She loves the story. This is kind of like a dream kind of, you get to play for your team.
Yeah.
Kind of deal for the kids. So
yeah.
I'm all in for now. I'm not, I have low expectations in terms of, something that's going to be monumental, but this is fun. This is summer, give me my chocolate chip ice cream in the waffle cone. I'm having a little bit of a sugar rush here.
Yeah. Very cute. Definitely check out. I think at least we got 2 thumbs up for
2 thumbs up. And Oscar, we're gonna send Vincent.
Oh my God.
We're gonna send Vincent in there to get you, buddy. We're gonna bring him in. He's gonna go into the black hole, brother. He'll get you.
And that lead us to our next one, which is Full of Droids. If you checked out the opening sequence, Full of Droids with Obi-Wan Kenobi this week. Let's take a peek.
What have you become? I am what you made me.
Obi-Wan is dead. Nobody's coming for you. Tell me where the path is. You can go home to your family. This can all be over. I do like a good liar. I don't know if you're lying to me or for me, but we'll see.
You were born what defeat would bring. I will tolerate your weakness no longer.
I want to go first. I love it.
Well, it is your show.
I love it. Third sister, mwah, yet again, the chef's kiss of the show. In that final scene that you saw, she wouldn't even look like scared or terrified or anything. She just kind of was like, okay, when you finish choking me out, we can talk about what I actually did. And I thought it was an exciting episode. I think Deborah Chow is an amazing director who is bringing some real life and energy into the show. I think the young lady who's playing Layla continues to shine in that role. She's a great foil for all the characters. Really holds her own in the series and really pumps it full of some, young energy. And you got to see Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. I said, all right, we done come through the universe finally. We got our first rapper in universe. And now we got, we got the third sister who's literally crushing stuff. So we're here, people. Finally in the universe, we're here. David, as the guru of all things Star Wars, give us your take on it.
I got to tell you, now, this is a show every week. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what happens next. That said,
oh, no. Come on.
I want to watch it. I enjoy it, but I don't like it. If that makes sense, I can enjoy something and I don't at the end of the day like it. I saw a discussion online this week about this story on its own and how it kind of connects with canon. And because to me, it diverges so much from canon. And I think there's so many great elements here. They could have done some things that have been fantastic, but because they've elected to, I think, really kind of cross that line into what was canon and what would be kind of the norm, I don't like it. That said, Leia is great. If they had wanted to do a show about her and growing up in Alderaan and all the things touring the galaxy,
they could do it.
They might, and maybe they should, because that would be a fun show. With Kenobi, again, just because of the dialogue from the original Star Wars in 77, I don't like these characters connecting. I also felt we have a little bit too kind of formulaic. This was so much like Mando saving the child Grogu. This is so much like the Bad Batch saving Omega, coming in there. They're getting caught. We saw a little bit of that kind of, and I think you even pointed out that first episode, kind of seeing that relationship between the mentor and the child. And it was just like, here we go again. It was like we're on that same lap, and it's fun. But I just think
what did you do? Let her get tortured by Thor's sister? Come on, man.
I wouldn't have had the two in the story. I might have had a different Jedi or that Jedi wannabe connecting with Leia in some ways. I think that would have been fun. I would have loved the idea that Vader is on a hunt for Kenobi, and then at the end of it, he's convinced that Kenobi's dead because he keeps running into, oh, that's a Jedi Padawan, he's calling himself Obi-Wan, or, oh, that's just a con man with magnets acting like he's a Jedi and telling people he's Obi-Wan. And that would have been fun for me. But it's good to watch. But I just felt like, man, this was just like, okay, this is the time in the 6 or 8 part arc where the kid gets captured and the hero saves the kid. I think we could have done something else. But compared to Boba Fett, I think Chow is a much better director and has a great sense of how to take these stories and do some good things. But I do think it was a little bit repetitive in that regard, and I would urge them to think a little out of the box.
Pat, what did you think?
Well, it's not the best episode. It was good.
Come on.
Well, you asked me what I think. I'm going to tell you what I think.
Come on, then.
It wasn't bad. I mean, like Dave just said, it does seem kind of like they found. I get we don't want to reinvent the wheel. I get this. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. It's worked. Keep doing it. Eventually, people will get tired of seeing the same rescue.
Yeah, but you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they diverge too far, then people are like, "Oh my God, you diverged too far." And then if they, carry through a storyline, it's too formulaic. Oh, come on.
That being said, I felt it was a little formulaic. I mean, there was some good stuff in it. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, and like Dave said, there's going to have to be some serious retcon at the end of this to try to figure out why Leia doesn't know Kenobi and all these other things. You followed my father in the Clone Wars. She didn't say, "You saved me. Remember when you saved me when I was a little kid?" She doesn't start out with that when she's asking Obi-Wan, to come help her. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the thing they did at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Like, I'm giving you these droids to Captain Antilles. Oh yeah, wipe their memories. Perfect. move on, which was a cheap ass way to get out of, all the stuff they had done with, all the droids knowing Obi-Wan and everything. Let's just start over with this. You can't quite do that with, kids. Maybe they can in the Force universe.
Maybe.
Yeah, do the Jedi mind trick. But it seems I have some issues with that. I'm enjoying the show a lot. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Third sister is badass. No two ways about that. She's about to torture a kid. I'm like, straight up Sith stuff there. And her, well, you did this to yourself.
Right.
You effed around and you about to find out, I guess, is what she was saying. And I was like, well, okay, well, yeah, she's Sith like, yeah, she gets this. But, but the story overall arc, it seems to be a little bit what works for them. They're going to keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. And there's going to be a point when people are going to go, yeah, I've seen this show before. I don't need to see it again, So
I don't think people will get tired of it.
I also watch every Star Wars thing that comes out. Don't get me wrong, but there's going to be there's things I want to go that I really like, and there's things I'm like, this is like, okay, it's okay.
All right, okay. You two are deadly wrong, but we'll go to the next one, which is this week's episode of The Boys. It's getting darker around the boys, so let's check it out.
Starlight and I are in love. Hashtag homelight.
It's like what you said, Huey. Whatever it takes.
So you make a public statement, a stern reprimand, just a reminder that he can't get away with anything.
He's gonna love that.
That is exactly what you are. I'll tell you what to do, and you fucking do it.
So from now on, the talking points don't come from Suzanne, they come from me. Are we clear?
Crystal. Yeah.
Pat, what did you think of The Boys?
Well, I'm going to say this before Pam goes ahead and poo-poos it, because I can already see the face going there. The I don't like this face. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about this, but here we go. You can't see my face. I like this a lot. It is a wonderful dark take on superheroes. It's
Who said I didn't like it?
It's refreshing to see how we've decided to, show what happens when power corrupts. Absolutely. I think The Boys is one of the better things that's come on TV in a while, as far as really putting all these mythos to the torch. Because, if anybody was really powerful, sure, Superman, Kal-El, he's so wonderful. But you know what? What if Superman was kind of a butthole? And then you get a little bit of power, and next thing you know, no one can do crap to him, and you get Homelander, and here we are. I enjoy it. And Carl Urban, God, he is a geek god. This guy has done it all now, and he sells that shit, man. I'm telling you what, is Billy the Butcher.
Yeah.
So good all the way around. It was interesting to show the father of the Howie kid, the Howie as Simon Pegg, who actually helped write those books, and he was originally thought to be the character that his son, and I'm making air quotes, was playing. Yeah, that was a cute little tongue-in-cheek nod to the source material. I really enjoy it. It's dark. It's so dark.
Yeah.
And there's some really hideous things that happen. Lots of heads blowing up, lots of bodies blowing up, lots of chunks of meat, flesh going everywhere. I'm just like, wow. Yep, that's kind of the way that. Thinking back to season 1, the way how he got started and all that was his girlfriend was walking across the street and A-Train ran through her and blew her up.
Yeah.
And he's left holding her hand, and that's all that's left. And he's like, oh, sorry, gotta go. Gone again. So I'm like, it starts out with this, that these superheroes with these superpowers are not, even if they're trying to do good, which most of them aren't, because they have absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And here we are, great examples of it. So I thought this is probably the best thing we watched this week out of all the stuff, to be really honest. So there we go. I said it. stand by it, and I'll die on this hill. Thank you very much.
Okay, so obviously you didn't watch us last week. So David, David, talk about the boys.
Us.
Yeah. David.
You know, it is dark. I agree with so much what Pat was saying. And folks at home, you couldn't see it, but Pat was reenacting the violence on. He had his own stuff. That's why he's blacked himself out tonight, because we were concerned about viewers and trauma tonight. But
sensitivity.
It was an amazing one-man performance there in Kansas. This is a really good show, and again, this is the how power corrupts and those things. Even, the hero's name Homelander and all that, that certainly has an echo of things. Yeah, I think this is a really well done show. Great acting. If you had pitched this idea to me, I'm like, okay, here it is again. I don't want to see bad heroes, or I don't want to know about heroes having a bad day. But I will say there's enough intelligence and kind of self-awareness with this story that it doesn't just turn into like The Watchmen or whatever, or there was a Netflix movie that we saw about heroes and their origin story and back and forth and just kind of becoming disenchanted with it all. So I think it is gory, but this is really well done. Strong cast, strong acting. It's really good stuff. Despite my criticism, I will say Kenobi is still the thing that, I was most excited and enjoyed the most. But this was a lot of fun. Well done.
Yeah, and contrary to what Pat thinks, because he doesn't know everything, is I love the boys. I've loved it since the first episode. This week's episode was a little heavy on penis for me.
A lot of schlong.
Lot of this. And this whole season is like a lot of penis. So it's definitely, don't let your kids watch it. It's very...
I'm going to black myself out here with that one. Excuse me.
Rated R. I mean, it was a lot to take in, and but it's all tongue in cheek, right? It's funny, but as you've seen,
in cheek, that's poor, Pam. That's just very poor.
To be accurate, though.
And so I think what you're seeing though is the progression of not just Homelander becoming more insane in power. You're also seeing Butcher kind of now start to go down a really dark path, and now dragging Huey with him because Huey is feeling a little emasculated by everything that's going on, and he wants something that's going to give him some instant power and able to level the playing field. But as we know, with all drugs, it is never as easy as you take it once and you're now starting to see Butcher starting to invent reasons why he should keep taking it over and over. So definitely seeing this really dark path and making some metaphors for how addiction gets going, and then as well how power is corrupting. But once again, Stan Edgar, mwah. I hope this is not the last time we see him, because Giancarlo Esposito is amazing as Stan Edgar, and that man needs an Emmy right now. That speech he made with Homelander was everything. So even and how he spoke of Vicky was just so in line with someone like Stan Edgar that I was just like, I kept going back and rewatching it and going, I love him. So definitely, I think we all agree, definitely watch The Boys, but definitely don't let your kids watch it. It's a little too much. Definitely check it out though. And our final, speaking of power corrupting, is the fantastic Mads Mikkelsen as Gellert Grindelwald. And Jude Law, who's an amazing Albus Dumbledore in The Secrets of Dumbledore. Check this out.
So Grindelwald has the ability to see snatches of the future. So we have to assume that he'll be able to anticipate what we do before we do it. Our best hope is to confuse him.
Oh. My pleasure.
Most important magic has its origins there. It also happens to be where the election will be held. They can't win, can they?
Okay, I really enjoyed this one. I think the change in character from Johnny Depp to Mads Mikkelsen was incredible. I thought it completely worked. I think he's a much better actor and villain than Johnny Depp was in the role, and really humanized the story. And especially for Pride Month, it's a good story to see about a gay relationship that is not made a big deal about. And that they loved each other, but as in all relationships, sometimes people go down a path you can't go with them. And so, even though you love them, you got to let them go. And so I really liked this story. I really liked the chillin'. I kept calling it the chitlin', but the the chillin' was very cute and a very good way to kind of, this is probably the most political story of any of the series. And you got to see kind of some political maneuvering that was really interesting in terms of the Hogwarts kind of this universe of stories, this wizarding world. And I just thought that it was really enjoyable. And I just kind of hate that J.K. Rowling is just kind of messed up her character is in question. So I sometimes you should just keep your mouth shut. So, but I really enjoyed the story and the acting and the little dance they did. I had to watch that a couple of times. It was so enjoyable. But I loved it. I hope you'll love it too. Pat, what did you think?
Well, okay. I love the Hogwarts Wizarding World, J.K. Rowling's books. This was something she wrote kind of separately to make some more money, apparently. It did not, overall, this particular installment felt rushed to me. Like it was like they were trying to wrap everything up. It was her in a hurry. I will say that I love Jessica Williams so much and everything she is in. She is a joy and a delight. And it was interesting to see her getting some movie time, not just her Two Dope Queens and the bits she used to do on the Daily Show. She's awesome. I really was glad to see her make some stuff. Mads Mikkelsen, he's kind of in everything right now. He's kind of like the hot older guy. Johnny Depp obviously is damaged goods at this point. Just, like Amber Heard, they're both going to be pariahs for quite a while, I suspect, after that whole ridiculousness. But it felt rushed, and I had some issues with some things about the way it was portrayed. Like, we're going to choose the leader of the magical world by something picking something. It's like, let's go pull the sword out of the stone and see who's fated to do it, type of thing, which I guess to a certain extent makes sense with the magical elements that we're working with. But, and like I said, I really wanted to love it a lot more than I did. Eddie Redmayne, of course, is delightful. Yeah. I think they have great characters. I just think that the story felt rushed, right, in this last episode. And there was all the extra drama around changing out Johnny Depp, and then which I feel may have detracted from maybe some of the good parts of it, and then they had to do some rush stuff because I originally think that this was supposed to be a 5-movie arc, and they had to shorten it down and kind of truncate it to get it done real quick because everybody was done with this at this point, and with Johnny Depp dropping out or getting kicked out or however you want to, whoever's telling the story, however that comes out, so I didn't.
But don't you feel like Mads Mikkelsen was a great? I just feel like he was just better, so it worked out better.
He may have been better, but
yeah,
it was a weird discontinuity thing. I mean, when you start these kind of projects, I would suspect that any responsible movie executive would be picking, say, okay, look, we got a bankable star. We can make him, and we got to sign for 5-movie deal. This will be great, And then of course you have the shitstorm that occurred when the whole Johnny Depp thing blew up, and there was the J.K. Rowling things kind of blew up since the first movie came out. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have really derailed, I'm sure, a well done plan into this. It felt very crammed. This last episode did to me. It felt very crammed, and like I said, I love Harry Potter. Yeah. I mean, my daughters got tattoos of Harry Potter because I read them this stuff when they were little kids, and I love Harry Potter, but man, I do not like J.K. Rowling so much anymore, and I am not. And this movie was just like I said, felt rushed. So there's that. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best. I don't feel like it stole 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. But so that's a good thing. There's been movies we've seen that feel like I've lost time and I'll never get it back.
Oh, okay. David, what did you think?
I'm not into this world. I mean, if somebody said like Puffin House or whatever, I got no idea about it.
Hufflepuff, come on, Hufflepuff.
All right, whatever you say, my man. I'm like, I don't get it.
You get the eye roll for that one. Come on.
This
what being Hufflepuff?
The flick, I thought it was fine. Jude Law is great. Mads
We're gonna put David in Slytherin.
And see, I don't even get that. I don't even understand what that means. Okay. That sounds like I'm like
might be Hufflepuff,
Spears fan or Paula Abdul, Cold-Hearted Snake. That's the last Slytherin. Or maybe I'm Cobra with Cobra Commander. It's okay. Obviously they take themselves very seriously in this world. There's a whole place in Disney World you can go for. I thought Jude Law was great. I think Mads is great. I mean, I think it was well done. But I'm not invested in this whole story or the lore of it. No. I've not gotten too much into the J.K. Rowling's thing. She has a lead protagonist who is a homosexual in this story, and it's beautifully done. Yeah. The way that they talk about their love and those things, it's like it's universal, which is, I think, in the spirit of Pride Month, that's kind of where you want to be with these conversations. I think that, but again, you can do one thing and then you do something else and everybody's canceling you out. I don't have a high opinion. I don't have any opinion of her because I haven't paid attention to her books. I know that some people say that her books like leads you to the devil, but I'm all for people who are reading because I think that's a really important thing. So it was okay. Jude Law was great. And they don't make enough really cool action figures that I could customize with it. So I have not a whole lot more to say about this.
That's the real thing. They don't have good action figures.
Popco did some good stuff, but you can't get them. They were not brought into this country. Nika had really poor 3 3/4 inch figures. You get them, and they're so expensive. I got a few things for customizing, but at the end of the day, I'm ready to move on from this story. So
I'm not. I hope it's 5 episodes. I hope it's 5 more with Mads Mikkelsen on board. It's great because they had to do that once before when the great Richard Harris passed away, and they brought in the new guy to be Dumbledore. And yes, he did a fantastic job. So
I'm into this stuff. I know these guys. I love this stuff, and I was just cannot blow my shirt up.
Yeah, I've read every book multiple times. I stayed up till 3 or 4 in the morning when they would come out and they'd be at the bookstore. Okay, this is how long ago it was. You would have to go to a bookstore.
What's a bookstore, Auntie Pam?
Huh? What's a bookstore? It's like a library, but you have to buy the books.
The library.
There's no Starbucks. There's no Starbucks inside
it. No Starbucks. It's just books. These
Walden books.
And they have like binding in their paper, and they have stories.
So I get it. It's like Amazon, but only with books in one place. I got it.
Yeah, in one place. Amazon even had a bookstore at one point you could physically go to.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I miss those days.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Thank you, Barnes and Nobles. You're still around. So
yeah. And so, definitely I say check out The Secrets of Dumbledore. And it's something that the whole family can watch too. So definitely check it out. And that takes us to the end of our show today. Hey, fellas, you got any last words you want to say to the people? How about you, Pat?
I've got a question for Dave.
Yeah.
As the Star Wars guru, I want to know, why do stormtroopers even bother with armor? You can shoot through it. You can lightsaber through it. I mean, all it seems to do is just be.
You could throw a spitball at it. I mean,
it's clunky crap. I don't understand what the protective design of it is. Nothing that's going to hurt them is getting stopped by it. So it's kind of like hiding behind a car door when people are shooting at you. It just makes they can't see you, but you can still shoot through the car door.
Well, that is a great point, Pat. Let me just say that on one hand, it's just because it's a cool factor, but kind of like these glasses. But when it was all said and done, the guy that brought the visual genius of Lucas's story to life, Ralph McQuarrie, and there wasn't as much about armor for Vader or for the stormtroopers really that much in the initial story. And Lucas said, well, I was going to have Vader, for example, with just he would have like a mask on, just kind of like a black veil below his eyes. And McQuarrie's like, you're going from one spaceship to another, right? He's like, yeah, they need suits so they can breathe. And so some of the stormtrooper armor and the Darth Vader armor was based on that. I do wish they could have something where, maybe it'd take a couple of shots, or it was like this helps with like projectile weapons or nerve gas or something like that. But it's just cool. And Ralph McQuarrie's practical application of some aspects of world building that was amiss to Lucas and many of the other writers and directors, such as when they turned Princess Leia into Mary Poppins in The Last Jedi. Another.
Oh, come on. Anywho. Okay. Which is one of my favorite movies that David has the action figure for. I love that movie. So tell me about the tell us, give us some last words there.
Well, just keep watching movies. Get back to movies if you're feeling comfortable. I mean, movie theaters are open. I'm seeing movies every weekend in theaters again. It's, if you go, even if you're crowd avoidant, which some people still are, and I get that, go to the movies on Sunday afternoon at the first movie theater. Even Top Gun last weekend was not that full.
No.
So feel free to get yourself out in the movies. Keep make sure they're making money so they can keep making great things. So we have great things to talk about.
No.
So there you go.
And don't forget, June 30th, our live show we'll all be in the same place together talking about movies. So definitely check that out. David, give us some final words.
Well, thank you, Pam. Keep having fun this wonderful summer. Enjoy the films. Get out there. See stuff if you want, but get out there and make the most out of every day. Look forward to being back with you all next week to talk about how much I liked and loathed Kenobi. Stay tuned for that.
Lord, it's just like every week with this. But
it's got to be good. It's got to be perfect. It's Star Wars. Come on.
Come on, man. Set some stuff to the side and just enjoy what it is. So definitely come back next week on this channel, PJammaLyfe. And we'll see you later. Take care. Bye.
See you guys.